Like no special insight.
None neoliberal. None. Not even Iraq when they wanted to get rid of fucking Saddam.
Has there been? Yes, Patty, you read my mind. But the question was for everybody else: was there any people collectively that have voluntarily accepted occupation by another country, even if it is through quote unquote sold as collaboration with another country? No, right? There has to be some type of a decisive.
If you know the answer to your own fucking questions, don't ask them, you fucking motherfucker. I hate people.
I can't remember a single case where a collective of people have conceded to occupation voluntarily.
Can I speak now before I go? If not being dropped.
Ahmadi wanted to go, and then you could go after him. Go ahead, Ahmadi.
Okay, go ahead,
it's real simple. My bad, Devon. I didn't know that was you. But look, the key is the military. So either you can convince them to switch sides, or you're going to beat them into submission. It's the military. That's it. You don't have to focus on the people. It's the military.
That's not going to work either, Ahmad.
We're gonna waste the whole day.
And I don't know if this is on topic, so I'm not
talking. Wait, Trent, what's going next, girl? Go.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll go after him.
Let me just tell you this. I'm not Googling. I'm talking to somebody that used to work for Chevron. And Chevron is still there. They're still pumping the oil. He said what is most likely to happen is that they will work inside the current military structure, right? They will try not to put troops on the ground. And basically, they'll use money, right? They'll essentially bribe the people there so that they can, you don't have to take over the entire country. The oil's offshore. You just got to protect the offshore basis. So he said this is not a situation where you need to control the entire populace. You just need to control and have control over certain sectors. And he said that Venezuela, a lot of Venezuelans did not like Maduro, and they're likely very happy about. I wonder
why they never had oil fucking people from corporate that work in the oil industry in any type of conference or anything. Like I don't understand this because I
don't understand this.
What needs to be done, and the
what
answer,
the fuck is Trump
maybe
doing?
part of some of these. Maybe you should have been part of Iraq when they did the planning.
He's
obviously we know somebody in corporate that has the answers when it comes to what's going to happen in that country.
Hold on, because I texted you.
What's wrong with him? Like,
I don't know what he texted you.
But the oil
let me just finish. Let me just finish the last part.
I don't care, Trent, what he texted you.
I don't care.
Your friend don't know what the fuck
I don't care.
Okay, well, there's
all right, well, it don't matter, man. So do whatever you want to do. Say what you want to say. Be what you want to be.
He doesn't think because of what China has invested into the country that they will take this lying down unless there's something he doesn't know about that has been worked out. Okay, I'll land.
It's not just China. BRICS. It's BRICS. It's not just China. Because both Brazil has already come out, Russia's coming. It's BRICS. I'm saying it's not.
I just want to say something. I don't know. I'm not necessarily responding to anyone directly, but I mean, so from what I'm understanding about it, is that basically the U.S. is saying that they were using the financing that was coming from oil because oil is their biggest export in Venezuela. So he's saying that they're using the oil money to fund drug trafficking. And that's how the drug boat or whatever ties in to the oil. So he's blocking his ability to finance like the trafficking of drugs.
There are no drugs to traffic.
But it's literally a video of blowing up. Hold on.
There is no drugs.
Okay, because y'all had y'all chance to talk and stuff, right? So I'm just saying. They literally have videos, and I'll put the link in the chat below, blowing up. You could see the cocaine spilling into the water. So what are you talking about?
They need to cut YouTube off, because some of you motherfuckers... Go ahead, Neil.
Yeah. Oh, my God. I don't know. Again, Trent, Venezuelan oil is in Orenco Belt. There is almost no offshore oil production. Most of it is onshore. There is some gas, primarily gas production that is offshore. It is very limited. When people talk about the reserves of Venezuela, they're talking about what was it called? Orinoco Belt, which is onshore, which is required as a type of military and security, right? That, I don't know. What is, if anybody's designing an investment contract into expansion into Venezuela, excluding the opportunity cost of other investments that you can make as an oil company, and I agree that Chevron is there, sure, they will continue. That is good for them. For an expansion of and the vision that Trump is outlining, right, of exploration, investment, modernization, all of that type of stuff. Can you imagine the risk associated with that type of investment?
Your rights. What's the Constitution? What are your first
In an environment where oil prices are close to breaking.
The Black Panther Party.
Can you let neoliberal close before you decide to close?
I was next.
I thought he was done. I thought he was asking a question. Go ahead, Neil.
Just the risk doesn't make sense other than for something like Chevron that has assets invested already, right? But we're talking expansion and modernization.
Hold on, Brett.
Wait, weren't you the one that said it wasn't about the oil? Like, what's going on?
Why is everybody jumping off mic? Let him finish.
I'm done.
Yeah, I just want Trent. I want to talk to
He
him.
was talking to me,
So hold on, he wasn't. He's speaking in general. So there are other people here that want to engage as well. So it's been about the oil from the beginning. So Venezuela, along with Canada, provides a majority of heavy oil. The United States produces more oil than any other country right now, but it's from shale oil. It's really light oil. That oil, the refineries in the United States are not designed to process shale oil. They're designed to process heavy oil. And so when the U.S. initially took the original ships, the ships were literally destined to help to actually go to the U.S. refineries so that the refineries have the throughput that they need to continue to produce gasoline. It's always been about oil, and it's going to continue to be about oil, regardless of whether or not we bring in a private entity. The United States will literally use its resources and infrastructure to transport the Venezuela oil to the United States and figure out different mechanisms to sell it to other countries. It's a done deal.
I got one more question since y'all think it's just about the oil.
Other countries. What are we doing, Patty?
I have no fucking idea. Just because he talked about oil on fucking TV, do y'all
Wait, so it's not about the oil?
Come on, man. So do you think it's economically? Do you think this is great for our country when it comes to how much it's going to cost for? Is that oil? Is it worth? Make it make sense for me, because it's not. It's not fucking oil. I don't give a fuck what Trump is saying on TV. We're not going to make a fucking dime off this oil.
Well, also we have refineries that can refine oil from Venezuela. That's just the factual point.
It is.
One second, Trent. I'm just cleaning up the factual point.
No.
Hold.
Venezuela and Canada.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said they couldn't refine.
No. I said that is the objective because we produce shale oil, which is a light form of crude oil, which our refineries are not designed to operate efficiently on.
Okay. So the U.S. Never mind. All right, Trent. I'm not gonna.
Thanks.
Go ahead.
So, thanks. I appreciate it. So, listen, yes, we refine heavy crude in Port Arthur, Texas. That's where they unloaded the first.
Okay, so include the price of stabilization, include the price of fucking ground troops on the ground, because they're talking about putting troops in the country. You make it make sense for me, because
Grace, we got a big one today.
Already in place.
Nothing yet about the J words.
people
But
over 20
this
million
is a
people in that
real
fucking
big
country,
complaint
right?
room. Very angry
And
people.
when neoliberal brought up, asked y'all the question, what country, like, who the fuck is gonna let America come in? Just because you want
Who
your
the fuck?
your dictator? They don't want us there, bro.
They don't want us there, bro.
Country.
This bitch, Patty, works for a lieutenant colonel in the army and is on Clown House 100 hours a week. This dumb bitch doxed herself and let out the colonel's name, and guess who got a letter with links to her non-stop anti-American Clubhouse content?
A stable livelihood. Now, to your point, I'm trying to agree with you here, because I actually agree with you. Will it cost the United States in our national debt?
I love
spending
hearing
on defense? Will it
the
cost
antithesis
us
to
more money
their.
than quite possibly, right? Especially if China gets involved. But will it make oil corporations?
I think it's gonna go somewhere.
And again, this is not just about the oil. It's not just about like the
I'm
amount
going
of
to take
oil,
this
it's
to the
about
Jewish
control
Federation
of
and
the
say,
oil
I've
and the
got a new
flow.
program in
We
our
need
project
the
I'd
price
like you to
of oil
invest in.
to rise.
It's called the JCD.
We
We
need to
all
get
know
oil to
that
60,
everyone
$65
complains
a barrel
all the
up there.
time.
And so
And
that
ultimately, it's going to
having
get
that
back to the
flow
J
helps
word.
stabilize
So we want to
price.
get ahead of the
So there are a lot
curve
of
and
nuances
help
to this.
eliminate a lot of the
Overall,
complaints before they
Texas, I
start
would
by
say
letting
Texas,
people know that the
Louisiana,
JCD is
and,
here to
possibly
service
Florida
your
stand to make
complaint.
billions of dollars off of this.
How is injecting more supply into the oil market make it more drops the price of
Let us practice our English, and I am called neoliberal, and I hate America, therefore I get platformed by Patty and the rest of the Democrat, Communist, Socialist, Populists.
That needs to be answered.
I'm very
But Grace, I am about.
in an environment where oil prices are low, where according to the Federal Reserve Survey of Oil Producers, they don't want to do any investment. They are exercising capital control.
We handle all forms of complaints. There's no complaint we can't handle.
They do want oil price to go higher because it is close to break-even. How is injecting more oil supply?
Go ahead, Tram.
Is
It's
this
30 seconds or less. Go ahead.
Again, you're controlling the flow.
This is
Right.
this is not extra oil.
Yeah, it's
Come
not.
on, Marty.
Thank you, Marty. Yeah, it's not extra oil. The oil is a world commodity. And I'll just say this: there are people.
no extra oil if it's if you
It's not extra oil.
said
The oil was already being produced. It was already on the market. It's not. We're not talking.
why is
they're
the
probably
oil price
producing
more
more.
I have a moderator button, so I will just talk over you all the time and give you no respect because I'm smarter than you,
The people
dog.
I've talked to on this subject, I have been as Houston and Corpus Christi.
We don't care about your resume, bro. Just answer the question.
I am answering the question, and they have told me this is what they have said. So they were right about what would happen in Venezuela. They were off by a week on the invasion, but they were right about what happened. And now they're saying that this is about controlling the flow. That's what these people.
I don't care what they say.
People making money.
No, he said they're controlling the flow, and I put the link from CNN,
Control the flow.
a reliable news source, that they are controlling the flow so they can control.
We
the
also
money
do musical
so that
intervention for
they can stop the
extremely
drug trafficking.
angry
Now,
people
I'm
who
not gonna
complain.
say there aren't conspiracies and well, the whole thing is really about the oil. Wait, what does that have to do with drug trafficking? What does that have to do?
Can we get back to price formation?
Relax yourself for just a moment, please.
Hello?
Like, really? Seriously?
Hello?
Okay. But
Hello?
it's like I'm just saying that this is what they are saying. You have your own like
We are interrogating what they're saying. We're aware of what they're saying. Just because they say something doesn't mean
Free Venezuela! Viva la Venezuela!
conspiracies, I guess. Okay, fair enough.
No, a price formation of oil is not a conspiracy. When you add more supply to the market, right? That's not a conspiracy.
trying to understand the
For
market for
example,
Well, you have more supply
So,
to
Trent,
market that increases
if they
supply.
control
Therefore,
it,
price go down. It's called
and
price
it's already
distribution
there. You're
curve.
saying the money that Venezuela was making will go to people in Texas, Florida, and Georgia. So I don't know about the Georgia thing was weird, but okay.
Texas, Louisiana.
Oh, Louisiana and Georgia. The other day you were saying Georgia. That's what made me think. Okay.
I thought Florida.
So they take out tens of billions of dollars from the Venezuelan economy.
Boom! You gotta pay for this military operation, goat.
what does that do to Venezuela?
Nothing. It's great news for Venezuela. They can finally produce more
The United
oil.
States is for I don't know. How much is the economy?
I don't know.
20-some trillion?
I don't know.
20-some trillion.
What's the GDP of America?
Throwing a country where it has 1.2 million of its people.
John Kitover is live streaming this room to YouTube. Kick
Let's say
him!
on a high end, $20-30 billion a year. I just want to understand what it is you guys are saying. When you
I want to understand what you're trying to understand. What are you asking? You can go to Google, Gold. Have you heard of Google? You just need some numbers, right?
How will this hurt Venezuela so that it stays stable?
Grace, I'm about to leave the JCD and go to the gym, but I'm going to let the JCD run for like the next hour and a half until I get back.
I can't do the 20-30 years prediction, but I will say that what you're probably saying, yes, we'll guard the oil. It will
guard the oil. We're gonna extract it and put it in our cars. What are you talking about? Guarding it? We want to use it.
It will be good for our oil.
I want to go on vacation.
Individual Americans probably, unless you.
This is called the Maduro fill-up.
Not the best thing for you, right?
Thanks, Nicholas.
This is a good thing. I am just telling you what the people that I speak with have said.
Ah.
So, Rez, who's ignoring you?
I don't know.
Who are you talking about?
Hello?
Happy New Year, MAGA.
Happy New Year! Viva la Venezuela!
Hi.
La pura vida!
I just got back from my phone. I was in my kitchen getting a piece of chocolate. As soon as I saw your hand was up, I raised you.
Thanks for calling the JCD. This is John. How can I direct your call?
All right, cool.
Happy New Year.
I fucking hate the Jays!
All right, cool.
And I want to complain. Excellent, sir.
You're saying that
Ben, I don't think the purpose is to help Venezuela.
Oh, let me invite some people. My bad.
Happened in Africa.
I know the play is not to help.
Let's get some complainers.
I'm just saying, if the country deteriorates and stays as bad as it was, how does that serve American oil interests?
I don't know, Goat. I don't know.
I'm asking him, how do they continue to get the $20-30 billion, which is not a lot of money, except for like a few people who get it? I agree with that part.
I agree with that part. How is this good?
2007, there were 4 projects, right?
No, Dennis is not a complainer. He's a regular listener.
Arbitration?
Oh, okay, Dennis.
Yeah, I heard the guy earlier said $1 billion, and I'll take him on his word for that.
It's almost $2 billion. It was almost $2 billion. It was over 1.
Almost $2 billion? Oh my God,
They're
go!
going in quote for the oil in order for the U.S. companies to control the market.
Oh, thank God.
That's the argument.
Yes.
Not to have more oil or pump more oil, but simply to control the oil so they can make $20-30 billion.
Yes.
Yes, senor.
Yes.
I don't know about
yes.
2030.
Goat is a conspiracy theorist.
On the control of.
Grace, I might have to mod you because people might not want to complain to music.
What he also
they might want to complain to you.
And again, he said part of it is offshore of that where the oil is.
Let me bring in another account to help increase the visibility.
You're correct about that. He said so it's pretty easy to control the offshore part of it. But what he said is the problem that he thinks will be running. He's not for this, by the way, but he says he thinks what the problem that they will run into is China. He says China has put so much money into Venezuela. He doesn't think that they will give it up so easily.
Obviously, just like China has far more of the oil control in Iraq. But we went in there for oil. So the United States, I just want to catch up, went into, and I'm really good at summation, so I apologize so people know.
Okay, thanks, Doug.
Do you have a complaint today? Decided to do this, which has all kinds of political ramifications, economic ramifications, geopolitical ramifications, diplomatic
I'm willing to back Grace that this is going to be tied to a Mossad operation pretty soon.
And maybe others too. To make, I don't know, let's say the high end, $50 billion more dollars. I feel that's like the high end. Let's say tens of billions of dollars. For ultimately China to get the lion's share.
China.
Is that what you're arguing, Trent?
China.
No. What he's saying is that what he thinks that the calculus that the administration didn't make is that China is going to fight back and not let go of not going to let go of this so easily. That's what he's saying. He's saying that China is going to cause trouble. Basically.
China.
So then in this case, so when the new people come in and quote privatize it, you're saying the
More
United
life.
States
Are you a complainer? Do you have a
them
complaint you'd like to
to
submit?
keep the U.S. and U.S. interests, which is U.S. companies, they have proprietary claims, and China can't get in those claims. Is that what you're saying?
What I'll do, because I can see the chat.
I think you need to get in more complainers.
Look, I'm not an oil.
I'm working on it.
I'm just trying to follow you.
We need
Stop complaining.
How can they ensure
Invite some people and stop complaining. Use your finger, not your lips.
And not Chinese companies, for example. This is a real
I've
question.
invited everybody. I'm maxing out all my accounts for this.
The honest answer is I don't know what I would try to do.
We're gonna bring in more. We're gonna go big, or we're going home.
I don't know. Maybe he can be anonymous and speak on it because he's much more educated, 20 years at Chevron, than me. So
can I have Trent in this part? Can I have Trent?
Yeah. Explain how they can keep China out, except for having the new Venezuelan government hostage. Yeah,
So a process they could
Is
take
this?
is if Venezuela has certain sanctions, they could say
Thought it was a sugar belly.
release the sanctions.
Thank God she's sleeping.
We would only release the sanction if Venezuela agrees to give a share of production to specific companies.
Okay.
And
So they can use sanctions. So they could use sanctions, which are legal mechanisms, as a shakedown. That's a shakedown. What you just said.
Yeah, it's bourgeois pirating. That's what it is.
Okay. So Trump is not going to be. I know some people think that Donald Trump, despite the fact that he sounded today worse than.
I can't believe it. I can't get any complainers.
He sounded worse than emphysema Matt today. I gotta be honest with you.
Yes, he did.
You guys are telling me.
Yeah,
by
but
the
this
time,
is a disaster.
So how long? 1 second, Miriam. How long does it take, Trent or anybody, Sean? You guys seem to be experts asking legit questions. How long does it take?
Let me Google that for you.
To get sort of back online and get everything going. Investment, all that. How long does that take?
So currently, Venezuela.
Ooh, Tam, do you have a complaint for the Jewish department? The Jewish complaint department, sir. Can we help you complain?
Pre-sanctions.
Welcome to the JCD, Tam.
2 million barrels per day. It's required. Investment required is $7 to $9 billion, and it's going to take 2 or 3 years.
Okay. So 3 years. So 2 to 3 years. So let's say on the short end, in 2 years, that would be.
Can I add something?
Oh, I apologize, sir.
Yeah. Sorry. Just for comparisons, right? It's producing 1 million barrels per day. United States is producing, because the argument was control of oil, right? Oil flow. United States is currently producing, or max high-end capacity rather, is 14 to 15 million barrels per day. Saudi Arabia is producing 12 to 13 million barrels per day. Russia is producing 11 to 12 million barrels per day. The total is 32 to 34 million barrels per day. Okay.
How much is the OPEC total?
32 to 34.
Okay, so if they get, so let's say at its max pre-sanction, Venezuela can get to 2.
Yes.
So Trent and others, we did this. Trump did this in order to get them to double, maybe go back to 2 billion a day, and it could take 2 to 3 years and tens of billions of dollars.
Right, but it's
and then let's just build. This is a good build.
Come on, guys.
And then in order to do that, it's 2 to 3 years, and then Miriam suggests the way to do that is through a shakedown, essentially, where you sanction them.
Then, do you have a complaint?
Does this sound like a sustainable model?
No complaints from me.
All right,
I was just wanting to hear other people complain.
Oh, it's coming.
I mentioned this earlier, Ben. It's about the type of oil. So it's volume.
Can we talk about the sustainability?
Can you stop repeating yourself, girl?
We all know it's not sustainable.
So Sean, you're correct. Sean is spot on.
Abby Eva.
Yeah, it's not. We all know.
I know you ain't a big fan of the J words, but do you have a complaint?
Point if it's not
the brand is. That's not the Trump administration brand.
It's a different discussion.
Brand is Empire.
Yep.
It is to upset the balance of power, which in that region is BRIC.
Hello?
It's not. I mean, we can all see what it's about. It's the upset.
Hello,
So it's not about oil. It's about to upset the balance
Abby,
of power.
poor girl Princessia, Nora Bandora. Her brother's trying to 5150 here again. And I was listening to her in her room yesterday crying about how her brother's trying to put her in a psychiatric hospital. And, oh man, poor girl. Kind of feel bad for her, but, you know.
That's that I don't like on here. You know?
Well, the problem is people don't know how to relax themselves and be comfortable and confident in who they are. You can't, you know, if somebody's going to put you in a psychiatric facility and they're basically trolling you and they're claiming all kinds of things and saying things that aren't true, well, sometimes you just got to go with the flow. And if they put you in a psychiatric hold, it's for 72 hours and you just habeas corpus your way out. You don't have to complain all the time about it. Welcome, Steve Harris. Steve, do you have El Normo is here. Great. We have an incredible customer service agent to help.
We have El Normo, you got to come up. You'll be part of our customer service department.
Steve, thanks for calling the JCD. My name is Music. How can I direct your call? Oh, Steve might be a fake account. Let's see. Yep, that's a bullshit account. Not totally bullshit, but bullshit enough. El Normo, welcome to the JCD where, you know, we are helping people complain. Doesn't matter what it is. If it's directed towards the J words, great. If it's directed towards Trump, great. Doesn't matter what kind of complaint it is, the JCD will help file your complaint. We're a customer service nonprofit dedicated to helping individuals complain as much as they want. Welcome to the room, El Normo.
Doctor,
Oh, that's a good point.
The complaint department has some sophisticated members.
Thank you. Yes, I wear my tuxedo when I'm working here.
You know,
We're grateful about that.
customer service agents are a little bit like, you know, janitorial engineers. We've upgraded to customer success and implementation and consultation. We're not just a complaint department. We actually help our customers with regards to the difficulties that they might face with our software interface. But that's neither here nor there. The JCD is near. Do not despair. We will file your complaint. Oh, thank God Rubenchik is here. The atheist Jew. Maybe you can help complain a little bit, Rubenchik. Are you salty with Hashem and Shemayim? Do you have any postulates or theorems you'd like to present? Or what was the room you had the other day? You use double negatives all the time with every statement as if like that somehow makes your question more complicated. But then when I reverse engineer your double negative, you just don't get it. So what's the problem, Rubenchik? Am I complaining about you or are you complaining about me? Which one is it, Rubenchik?
We take other countries' resources a lot, and this is kind of
That's a war crime. That's a war crime.
It's a war crime!
Right.
Motherfucking war crime!
The new government does.
This bitch work for a colonel.
Companies
oh, he gonna love this shit.
How do you just?
Patty, were you on the internet calling Trump a war criminal? Well, Patty, I gotta fire your ass. You can't keep working here with that type of attitude.
Who's gonna buy oil that's not I'm confused.
Of course you are, Patty, because you a dumb bitch. You're confused all the time about everything. It's called passive aggressive, bitch. You got it.
Watch it, Dan and Petty. It's coming to the U.S. initially. Now, I don't know.
So listen, any company involved in this is complicit. Any company that is involved in this is essentially complicit of a crime.
Oh, complicit of war crime!
Truth of it. So
war crime complicity!
Who receive it are going to be complicit of a crime. And the current president, Trump, he's not going to rule forever. So
No,
how long
he ain't.
is this plague going to continue?
This plague.
Secondly, how much is the US going to invest in this invasion? It's not something that is just 1 year and you're done. I mean, you're looking at five years. You're looking at a long time to sustain whatever you're trying to start.
Bitch is called the 54th state of the United States of America.
So part of the issue is, respectfully, Trent.
Jana, you got a complaint? Can you help? Field a couple complaints? We're looking for Jews that know how to field complaints. We need customer service agents. We're expanding to Tel Aviv this summer.
Man, we can agree on that. Which, by the way, would not be... Well, I don't want to go into that. Okay, so you believe that he's engaged in imperialist...
War crime! Complicit in war crime!
Cool. We agree.
We agree.
To make an argument... Now, this is a different argument than like, oh, it's money and they're going to be... I mean, that's a different thing than what y'all was saying.
I didn't really go into the whole BRICS thing, though I do think...
Can I get in here, Trent?
But what somebody sent me is that yesterday Maduro did text out that he was speaking to Chevron.
We got Marshall Rankin modded up in the house.
To having American
oh man, that cheetah that cheetah jacket looks imperialist to me.
American companies developing Venezuelan oil. Now he's doing this under duress.
I heard Marshall Rankin's managing a brothel.
I don't know if he tweeted or said it.
The Clubhouse historian. Oh, he'd be so good. He'd be so good as a complaint department customer service agent, though. I gotta say, he'd be really good at fielding complaints. Because that's actually what he does. He's a complaint processor already.
Used to work at oil companies who might know something, possibly.
This is Your Honor, otherwise known as Aram, a total F word.
I don't know, for example, that he didn't get any congressional approval. For example, that he...
How do we kick out the A9? Who the A9? How do we kick out the A9? You can't kick out the A9? The A9 got more rights than me! Motherfucker! Motherfucker, A9! Fuck you, A9! Motherfucker! You ain't got no more rights than me, bitch!
So what's going on here is that the man's fucking Looney Tunes, and he's got like people who are nuts around him giving him batshit crazy advice. I mean, one of the things that's on the front page of the Times right now is that they did a war game of what would happen to Venezuela if they ousted Maduro during the first Trump regime, and they basically said it would fall into chaos. I assume that things changed that much that they think there'd be lots of stability at this point. So, I think one of the answers to
I
this
love
is
how people think that this is their moment to shine. Which is really pathetic because you got people here recording them and roasting them. And
that makes a ton of sense.
Am I the only one to observe that all of this is just basically narcissism and projection? And my favorite part about it is I haven't finished speaking. Don't interrupt me. Don't interrupt me. I ain't done yet. Like those are my favorite moments. Is capturing anger and psychotic bursts.
Thanks, Sean. I appreciate it. One of the things this is from multiple people. It's not just from one person. Right?
Under less than 3 hours, and so they didn't have enough time to kick up any new narratives or counter narratives to what actually happened.
It's right. This is the response department. That's why I say this is actually a complaint department. We are here. Nick, you'd be great at helping us process some complaints today.
I mean, granted, Texas is, especially Texas oil folks, this is normal to them, or somewhat normal to them, I should say.
Regime change, complicity, and war crime.
And refined, I think, to Sean's point, in Port Arthur and in Louisiana.
Can I say
here's a question?
MJ, 1 second.
So I had a quick question for him.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Hello, Steve. Welcome. Are you there? I think Steve is on the stage, and we should.
So this is Steve Crone, Steve.Crone on X, super liberal, founder of the Dishwasher Diaries podcast on YouTube. He's a senior entertainment executive, a film producer, and a lawyer, and a law professor, and a former U.S. Supreme Court law clerk.
I'm in the shower, but I'm listening.
Yeah. He's in the shower.
Go ahead, MJ.
Do you guys think the Dems are going to vote to fund like whatever it's going to take on the ground to make regime change.
The Dems have no power. Stop this,
Yeah,
MJ.
Steve looks like he's got dandruff.
You would certainly need Dems in the Senate to
His
get
hair looks very
this
oily.
through.
That's what I'm saying. That's what's going on.
But what I'm saying is they're not.
Oh, by the way, if anybody wants to go into politically correct right now and go on stage and say, hey, John Kitover is live streaming this room and making fun of all of you on YouTube and in his clubhouse rooms, that would really make the show pop. Really, anybody here. You can just go there right now, try to get on stage or go and chat. Go to YouTube, type in John Kitover, pull a YouTube link of a live stream, and make sure you call out Goat and Patty for being low IQ N-words. It's okay, you can say N-word. We're trying to make their brains pop so they'll come in and complain.
So the Republicans don't need 10 votes?
I'm not saying we don't. You don't.
Burn an account. It's worth it. This is a big moment. This is psychological meltdown. This is chaos. War crime.
You didn't hear me say that.
You literally said they had no power.
I said we don't have it.
Oh, this chick is awesome. She hates Goat.
So if they don't get the votes,
I have recorded her ripping. Oh, this is going to be great.
Listen,
you
they
just
can
cut off
also
NK for no reason.
Oh my gosh! Listen to me. You also don't have to filibuster. You could also go around the filibuster too.
How?
You do know that.
How?
What do you mean?
How would this be a reconciliation bill, Rez?
Oh my gosh! You know what?
A reconciliation bill? We're still talking about reconciliation bills. Oh my God!
Is there a government shutdown? Then you said we'll go through the end of the year since you never got anything wrong.
That was a different mechanism, and that was a budget.
Oh
No,
So
that
this one
wasn't
is
a
asking
budget.
here.
It would be a budget.
The budget.
This is what it sounds like in the jungle, ladies and gentlemen.
You asked a good question, and you did it in a way where you realized that through the process, as long as there's a filibuster, you would need Democratic votes.
Rez is so annoying. I don't know how y'all do it.
Because Rand Paul is not going to vote for it. Well, certainly Rand Paul's going to vote against it. Who knows what Tillis would do on the way out? MJ is exactly right. You would need a number of Democratic votes. It was a legitimate question.
Are the Democrats going to fund the invasion of Venezuela?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it was a legitimate question.
Legitimate!
And I think they will vote for it. I hate to say it.
It wasn't, I mean, like, who would they be? I don't know if they'd have the votes, but it's just like, that actually is a real question, because in the appropriation bill, which they needed Democratic votes for, the defense budget bill, whoever's saying they don't need the votes for, they actually did need the Democrats for, they left this portion unfunded. So how do they fund it? I'm going to be honest.
We didn't fund this invasion and abduction of Maduro and his wife, Flores, Mira Flores.
But MJ's question was dumb.
Well, MJ's just a dumb nigga.
Let me read.
Put it in the complaint file.
Until Vice Chair.
D-N. Somebody said D-N. That wasn't me, moderators.
Places the gravest decision about.
I don't use hard R.
In the hands of Congress for a reason. Using military force to enact regime change.
Everybody knows that about me. I don't use the hard R.
Do not end.
Sometimes the soft A.
If the United States asserts the right to use
rarely.
military force to invade and capture foreign leaders it accuses of criminal conduct, what prevents China from claiming the same authority over Taiwan's leadership?
Ooh, good question. Is Taiwan about to get invaded?
Ukraine's president. Once this line is crossed, the rules restrain global
We
chaos
take Venezuela. China takes Taiwan. It seems like a fair trade to me.
None of those this absolves Maduro. He's corrupt authoritarian who has repressed his people, stolen elections, imprisoned political opponents, and presided over a humanitarian catastrophe that has forced millions of Venezuelans.
He has absolutely nothing on his profile whatsoever. He says he's a keeper of the Golden Eagle and a defender of the Danubian frontiers, patron of the Millennium Celebration, heir to Jupiter's favor, neoliberal shill, Julius Philippus.
Give any president the authority to ignore the
He
Constitution.
sounds Ukrainian to me.
The hypocrisy underlying the decision is especially glaring. The same president recently pardoned former Honduran President Juan Orlando Hernandez, who was convicted in U.S. courts on serious drug trafficking charges, including conspiring with narcotic traffickers while in office. Yet now, the administration claims that the similar allegation justified the use of military force against another sovereign nation. You cannot credibly argue
3.8 thousand chats.
in one case while issuing a pardon.
Oh my God, this room
America's
has like
strengths come from our
150
commitment to the
people on
rule
it.
of law,
A couple thousand over the course of a
norms,
few
and
hours.
constitutional restraint. When we abandon those principles, even in
Is this
the
a
name of
complaint? I'm confused.
confronting bad actors, we weaken our credibility, endanger global stability, and
Oh, thank
invite
God,
abuses
Truth
of
is
power
here.
that will
Truth
long
God, maybe
trust
we can
in
help
single
you submit a complaint to the JCD. Good morning, sir. This is music. I'm a customer
100%.
service agent for the JCD. Do you have a complaint that you'd like to submit?
I mean, we were raising similar concerns on Putin.
Welcome to the room, Truth. Do you have a complaint?
No, sir.
You don't have any complaints?
No, sir.
So you
First,
just...
I want to understand what's happening about regarding what kind of complaint.
Oh, do you have any complaints about Jews or about America or Ukraine or Russia or Pakistan? Like, who do you want to complain about? We're here to help you complain.
The complaint will follow up on their reciprocal of their intelligence. The thing is very, very simple. You people, I don't want to disturb you guys. Please, you people keep on speaking or ask me anything. I will say whether it is true or false.
Oh, okay. So you want to be a customer service agent?
Yes, truth means if you want to know the reality in a bigger picture, then you can ask me. If I know, I will say. If I don't know, I say I don't know.
Okay, listen closely. Just
major
give a bell, just hit a bell. Whenever you hear a complaint, it's the best way to do this, Truth.
Definitely, quote unquote, run the country of Venezuela. And quote unquote,
Venezuela is the 54th state of America, by the way. Before that, we got Ukraine. Before that, we got Puerto Rico. And then you could just say Afghanistan, Iraq, or whatever. But I'm very excited that we now have Venezuela in the umbrella of the Americas.
He specified that U.S. troops would have a presence in Venezuela.
Do you have a bell, Truth, that you can hit whenever you hear a complaint?
Like, how is that not one of the focal points if that's one of the first things that they're talking about?
Gemini, where'd you spend your Doge refund check?
I want this.
Haven't got it.
Should be part of our land.
Haven't got it.
Anti was asking about the interest rates. We could probably lower it to like a good, I think 1% is fair, to tell you the truth.
No one ever had any stance that oil had.
That was said in this room multiple times.
I didn't say that.
That was said in this room multiple times. I'm not going to say you said that, but that was definitely said.
Definitely.
I didn't say it.
Definitely.
Just put a name on it.
Patty said it.
Ooh, Patty! You're in trouble, Patty!
You got red.
Do you still think that it has nothing to do with oil?
Ankle biting.
No, it doesn't have nothing to do with oil. What's going on here?
Did you hear
What's going on?
I think oil is a part of it, but no, I don't give a fuck what Trump said. I don't give a fuck.
Okay, I'm gonna read
Why do
only
y'all
one
think
portion.
that? Why do y'all think this is an economic advantage for the United States to fucking siphon oil from a fucking country that they have to secure? Number one, they have to
Move logically.
No, it's not only about logic. Who the fuck is buying oil from a country that is? You're not gonna get nobody to buy the fucking oil.
Nobody want to buy this fucking oil.
Be able to put our oil on the market if we're fucking using it for ourselves.
What else they got? Hold up a minute.
Motherfucking common sense,
Name
bitch.
some dumbass shit that y'all done conjured up in your mind because y'all done played these goddamn PlayStation games. It don't fucking work like that.
Patty, let me read one.
It's my favorite Patty line. It don't fucking work like that.
But then again, you may have only been operational. So I can't blame you.
Patty's high level.
Fucking book and understand what it looks like to fucking try to sell something from a country that you done fucking pilfered from. It doesn't work.
What if?
And the countries that buy on the black market or whatever, they not fucking with us.
Fuck them.
Russia and China and Iran has been in those countries. Those are the people that we'd be trying
Your
to sell
woman's so polluted you can't even have a baby.
The fuck fuck out of here.
Fuck you, bitch.
Let me read this one portion, one little small
I don't
portion.
give a fuck what you about to read. Go open a book. Go read a goddamn book.
Oh my God, she finally said something I agree with. Go read a book.
Hold on for 1 second. Hold up, whoever that is.
Fucking Donald Trump.
Hear this out.
Education of Donald Trump. Keep that shit to yourself.
Explain this part to me, Patty. Trump said the U.S. would take control of Venezuela.
I don't care what Trump said.
Hear me? Let me finish, please.
You know, John Kitover, he's live streaming.
Let me finish. Hold up 1 second, please, whoever that is. This is what I'm saying right here. Right? Trump, this is the news reporting, said the U.S. would take control of Venezuela's massive oil. Let me finish, please. They said Trump would take control of Venezuela's massive.
Because I'm not having this conversation. I'm trying to cook something real quick. So
okay, because what it says directly.
You want to make out the room, Bam? Because I really don't want to be in the room hearing a bunch of fucking crazy shit, stupid shit. This shit is getting ridiculous.
Can I say something?
That was in a minute.
Well, actually, I'm Egyptian and I work in an oil company in Saudi Arabia, one of the biggest oil company called Aramco. Saudi Arabia.
Wow, they got an Aramco employee in there.
Exporting like 99% of the oil to the U.S. So I believe that Donald Trump is going to do some invasion, a high-scale invasion, especially in the Middle East. Because in Saudi Arabia, we have the petrol is very cheap.
Can we stop, please? Conversation is not about Middle East. It's about Venezuela. If you want to speak to that, go ahead.
So are you connecting that to OPEC? Like, how does the Middle East sort of get entangled in the conversation? It is under the umbrella of OPEC?
That's a local thing. I don't think that's not going to happen anytime soon.
No, I'm just asking the person who sort of interjected the Middle East into the conversation.
You mean the Aramco employee who's about to say Ron about to get fucked up?
Oil without
recognition
cannot be fucking sold, y'all. What's going on?
What's going on? Hello? Hello?
Patty, but it can be refined.
Kitover is under federal investigation.
So what are you gonna do? You're gonna fill your pool with?
According to Brand, if he's indicted, they can blow up his town to take him into custody. Be careful. I see what you did there.
Cuba dependent on our oil.
And we're gonna have better Tupperware. What's going on here?
No, it's not.
Kitover's under federal investigation. Be careful.
I was talking first. To Patty, there's like 10 different
Kitover is under federal investigation.
And that's what I'm saying
Not
is that the short term.
He always live streaming and shit. Evan is streaming the room. Evan is streaming the room.
No, you are robbers. You are stealing. That's what you are.
Hold on. I didn't just
manufacturing Diddy oil.
Look, you're passing judgment on my comments. I would never ever stand up for what Trump has done today. I would never agree with it. We're talking about processes versus morality. I'm not talking about the moral. I'm not taking any stance that's saying that what Trump is done. A matter of fact, I think he is literally starting a cold World War III. That's what he's trying to do, is precipitate the third world war.
Hope Kitover goes to prison.
I'm saying what's going to happen now. Every time, everybody just over everybody else. Like, no one can really get a thought out because everyone starts speaking over.
We got you. But look, I was trying to make a point that right now.
It's about whether or not I have an opportunity to
finish your thought, brother.
They're about to collapse the room. The room has collapsed since they know that it's being recorded.
I say it's about whether or not I'm trying to finish my statement, because Patty is making very legitimate comments about what does the present look like, including the future. The future is hard to predict. So I'm trying to add some intellectual.
Can you predict the past, bitch?
The present is to send it to U.S. refineries to process into products to sell.
A lot of people in this
we
room
get
right
that.
now.
You can make petroleum out of that. I understand that.
I'm not.
It is petroleum. You don't even know what you're talking about.
No, we're talking about.
Interrupt.
You said another product, right? Gasoline goes in car. Petroleum goes on your skin.
But it is petroleum.
Oh my God! You don't know what you're talking about at this point.
You have no idea what you're talking about.
You don't know what you're talking about. Bitch, you don't know what you're talking about. Bitch, you don't know what you're talking about. Bitch, you don't know what you're talking about.
Anybody can correct it, but one point I was trying to make is that Cuba depended on highly on Venezuela.
The price of gas down the street just went down 50 cents. Hooray!
So there's all types of things.
Let's go to the gym and read a book, maybe at the library.
Right now, because it's not
the library. You say it's a depository for books. Depository.
Is that why we're doing this bullshit? Because Marco Rubio's all coked up and he wants to finally liberate Cuba? That's the whole fucking point of all this.
Hooray! Liberation Day!
I don't pretend to know what
Marco Rubio ain't coked up, Danelle.
Control of the oil, how they're going to refine it, who they would have as a buyer, how it will impact the market. Right? I understand those aspects that Patty spoke to, and I agree with those aspects. What I'm saying is, after immediately kidnapping their president, shipping him to New York, Trump's announcement, this is what Trump is saying, right? This is not my thoughts. This is Trump's words. He said that the U.S. would take control of Venezuela's massive oil reserves, and he's going to have American companies pump billions of dollars into
They're going to be able to make more Vaseline than they've ever made before.
Right? So clearly it's clearly a focal point for him. What he's going to do with it from there, I don't know. But
of course you don't know. You don't know shit, big guy.
And it's talking about
Chris.
it and definitely
how you doing, little Chris? Hi. Welcome to the Jewish Complaint Department. We're sitting here listening for complaints.
1 second.
Complex is going to feed the American companies.
Sir, I don't want to drop you. Let neoliberal go. You can go after him. He came off mic first.
I love these mods.
Okay, gentlemen, to recap the conversations.
Gotta maintain control and the narrative here.
Right, in previous conversations.
Stay on topic. Get back on
issues
code.
that Trump says multiple things about different things, right? On Venezuela, it's the drugs. It's the debts that they owe to the United States on oil infrastructure.
You hear that, Abby? You can pick up how people can't pronunciate.
Right? On tariffs, there are 10 different narratives on the tariffs, right? Just because Trump says something does not necessarily mean anything, right? So my position is there are a lot of vibes and there are a lot of unstructured, not deeply thought through plans.
Rubenchik.
Some of them involve
welcome back. Do you have a complaint about anything, Rubenchik?
Doctrine, the oil, whatever. But those
we don't just help anti-Semites complain. We help J-words complain too. Anybody can complain here. We're complaint agnostic.
Right? The plans seem at least very thin.
We're a nonprofit.
I'm not disputing that oil in the administration, whether it's Trump or other people, occupies some mind share. But that does not mean that, as with tariffs, it's a good idea, it makes sense, and I'm not talking about normatively whether it's legal or a good thing to do, right? Whether the plan...
Shadow Resistance Row, please start another room and be more discriminating with the stage.
So my opinion that...
Get back on code!
It's not feasible, right? That's my position.
Yeah, I agree with your position. One second. Neoliberal, I agree with your position. That makes sense. I don't see how it could be feasible. I think it can affect the market in negative ways that doesn't really benefit us, right? But
this is Mr. Genetics.
Trump is not always doing
He's got
feasible. Wait, what's not feasible?
He's got cards, dollar signs, and some type of trident tattoo.
I don't mean that
he's fully iced up. He wears an LA hat and a wife beater.
Throwing together a bunch of narratives together, and partially they
Gemini, PhD, Mr. G7, Genetics.
When somebody proposes a plan and the plan is thin, I say that there is no actual plan. That's what I'm saying, right? So
this room will go on all day, which is the most beautiful thing about these rooms.
Not about oil.
From a recording perspective, it's gold, Jerry.
Right? But it's
just click it and forget it.
Oh, this is
They'll be here till 2 in the morning, partying all night long, and then Lisa's 420 Lounge will take over, and they'll do it all over again, day after day, day after day, complaining. We will have infinite complaints to deal with here. I hope you guys know what you're dealing with. This nonprofit is going to go a long time because there's an infinite number of complaints.
Oil prices are at a 5-year low. For these companies investing, getting into that Venezuela market, the amount of of funding, investment money they have to pour in to start recouping when oil prices are at a 5-year low does not give them positive returns. I know he's bragging and talking, it's about the oil, it's about this, I'm going to do this and do that and do that. That's not the one who does this, it's these oil companies. And the oil companies have to go back and look at their stock and if this is something they want to get into or not. And you have to remember, getting into the oil industry is not something you get in now and you get out. If you are going to do something where you're also complicit in a crime that is happening, this is a long term.
There's another politically correct room called Oil, Venezuela, and American Law.
He says it's about the oil.
27 plus people in there. I don't want to go in there because they have already identified my burner account.
Control Venezuela for the next 20
The woman
years.
who identified it
definitely.
isn't
That's
in the
what he
room.
said. I mean, this is the
Trump is going to do this, and then
this is the thing, right? Hold
Let
up.
me finish. I'll finish now. I'll finish now. My thing is, this is not feasible. They can need the amount of funding
This room's
required for the
gold, Jerry.
administration.
Gold! I hope you're streaming
this
this on
is a
YouTube's
lot.
end. This one is
They're
one
not
for
going
the
to get
history
the votes
books.
for it. For the companies, it's also a
The
challenge.
Patty stuff is just the best part, is listening to this loudmouth Karen cunt bitch. She has admitted to who she works for. I have on record the colonel that she works for in the U.S. Army.
I don't think you
And I
really
can't wait for him to
heard
hear
my
her
point
recordings
about
of her being a
the
loudmouth
refinery
cunt, calling Trump
It's
a
about
war
oil,
criminal.
but it's also about the secondary process, the refining
What you want to
aspect
say?
of it.
You got a complaint?
Who has the largest refining capacity in the world right now?
We do, don't we?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Our refineries. I'm sorry. What? Neoliberal?
Hello?
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. And our refineries need heavy oil. That is what Venezuela produces.
No, it produced the last sweet crude bubbly tap, bitch. What you talking about? Hello?
So it is about oil, but it's also about the secondary market aspect of it. It's about how do you make oil useful? You make it useful through refining.
Vaseline. The fuck, bitch? Everybody knows you make Vaseline out of oil. That's the best way to use oil. Vaseline.
Yes, you have to refine.
In Spanish, it's called Vaselinara.
Steve, there is another politically correct room on partially legal analysis. If you can join that, there are two politically correct rooms now. We have split.
I do keep hearing people mention that the Senate won't vote for this. The Senate never got a chance to vote for this actual attack on Venezuela in the first place. So we're going to keep throwing around that the Senate won't approve and the change will be.
Everybody's leaving and going to the other room.
And at this point, we don't know.
Should we go in there and see if they're talking about us?
Iraq and how China and India
Fuck
and
yeah.
Eastern countries get the vast majority of the oil and the revenue and profit that come from it. The United States does not get money from that. A significant measure. Obviously, they can take some oil. It's going to be a small thing. That's not what Patty was saying. And then people are like, when Patty says it's got nothing to do with oil, she's not talking about on the fringes. I mean, we took some gold bars in Iraq. Iraq was not about the gold bars, but we took them. Like, why can't people just do people read books?
Hello? I don't think Goat reads books anymore.
Neoliberal said it wasn't a system because he was responding to the guy that said that the petrodollar was currency. And he was trying to say it was a currency system. He says it wasn't a system. People Googled it and they used the word system in the Google thing, which explained the exact process.
The Google thing? Zan, if you want to go in there and say this room's also being recorded, that'd be great. Keep the psyop up. Keep the pressure up.
He was someone at
Let's watch these brains implode and explode simultaneously.
They said that can't happen. These people have figured out a way to get it done.
Like what?
I mean, a lot of the bullcrap, even down to immigration, even though it's now coming backwards,
down to immigration
didn't quite go through the way that they wanted. They started it off that way.
They talk about you?
I don't know. I refuse to put anything past this administration at this point. Even right now,
I refuse to put anything past these white devils.
What do you mean? Who said that couldn't be done? We did it in 1989.
Hello? Abby, this would be a great opportunity for you as well to go in there, post the YouTube link to their live stream.
No, I'm just saying,
Thanks,
I mean,
Abby.
I'm not saying this against you because that's what they're saying. But what happens is that people who really don't know the stuff, and they're like,
they don't know what they don't know
for the first time.
Hello?
They think that they're living history.
They think
this kind of thing hasn't happened before or couldn't happen. It's not that the Democrats couldn't have done the thing that Trump did with the federal government, for example, and firing those workers. They just didn't want to. Although, ironically enough, Bill Clinton did do a buyout program in the 90s. That's their discussion.
Motherfucking John Kitover. Fuck.
Yeah, Maya, I'm lost. You said first you asked why to make another room and said you didn't hear the room. Well, I mean, my PTR wasn't in the room. I literally just got back maybe about 7 or 8 minutes ago.
Okay, everybody thinking about you all the time. You number one, you most important bitch in the world, First Lady.
She said, do you want to make the other room?
Hello? They invited you?
It took him 5 minutes to do it, and he did it. So what are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
It's all right.
Sometimes you just want to, just do your own club with 20 people. Yeah. To, at least for stuff like this in the beginning, just to, people are not actually interested in the topic. The topic is a pretext to come in here with bang with their online enemies. That lady came into the room instantly banging.
I have her roasting him. It was so funny.
We finally got a good question from MJ. It took 5 years for MJ to say something that actually made sense. It took 5 years. And as soon as he said it, channel, it took 5 years for MJ to finally say something that made sense. And we couldn't even celebrate it.
This guy's name now is Bam
Anyway,
Rice.
Did you find Steve Crone?
Maga Miso.
Well, I asked him to join, but I don't know if he heard me. Maybe still in the shower.
Hello?
Not the shower.
The shower.
Why don't you, before he comes in, let's do the legal part, because I was kind of interested when we started.
So from Natasha Bertrand on Twitter, who's a CNN correspondent.
Abby, come on, you gotta play a role in this side. You gotta go in there and drop a link to a YouTube. Go in there and say John Kitover's live streaming this room too. He's got you, go. He got you, go, boy.
Operation that was carried out in Venezuela.
You can sing Liberace in jail.
Authorization.
Oh, Trump the Magnificent has taken all the oil and kidnapped Maduro.
Justice Department powerful office of legal counsel and later served as Attorney General in President Trump's first term.
Boring.
The president has the
Nobody wants to hear you read and practice your English, neoliberal.
To investigate and arrest individuals for violating U.S. law, even if those actions contravene international law. The FBI was on the ground with the U.S. Delta Force soldiers during Friday night operation to arrest.
Is or is not in Russia. The other is her brother. The other is the interior minister, and they're all still there. So the idea that this is about, bringing down some international narco-terrorist operation, there's been a lot of arguing about what it is about, but that's one thing that it certainly is not about.
What do you think it's about, Steve?
Oil.
Well, I think I'm not sure any of these are the one answer. I mean, I do think Patty got very upset about the idea that the oil could be sold. I mean, of course it can be. So I think
Patty got upset. What Patty get upset about?
I think some of his cronies.
I got time to deal with this shit. I gotta cook for my baby.
More of his Mar-a-Lago crowd. I mean, I think for him, it's about getting control of the oil again and
oil. I don't think it's about oil, but I think it's about oil.
So I do think that's part of it. I think part of it is I do think part of it is Trump is crazy, and I think
Trump is
he gets
crazy.
off on the idea that he has the power to overturn the government of a country, and I think he wants to be a tough guy, and this makes him look like a tough guy. And you could see in his statements today that part of it is just his own insanity and his own ego. And I do think
did they shut the other room down?
Last thing I'll say,
No.
I mean, the scariest part is it is impossible to really view this outside of what does this mean for Russia and what does this mean for China.
There is a distinction, right? So, long-standing position.
Oh yeah, we got Patty back. Patty back in the main house. We ain't letting no riff raff up on this stage. Stay on code.
Are supreme law of the land and bind the president. What the memo tries to do is
always
to
vote blue, no matter who. Stay on code.
International law. It does not bind the president without prior.
Here's the latest from the New York Times.
Authorization, right? So there are multiple critiques of this memo because, again, long-standing position that both self-executing and non-self-executing law, international law, are binding and is supreme law of the land, right? The only distinction between self-executing and non-self-executing is that for
want to hear. I'm not going to say anything else. Yeah.
But the thing that doesn't make sense for me, if this is just solely about taking control of the oil, Maduro was going to make a deal with us anyways. Where he was going to give us the oil. He was going
to give us the oil for free?
And that's because it's not solely about that.
Yeah.
And Trump, of course, knows that now his boys are going to get a better deal than they would have.
His boys?
I mean, he's literally, if I understood, I was listening to these comments.
Trump's got boys?
Soccer this morning. But if I heard it right, Trump was talking about like installing some sort of, military occupation to run the country for some interim period.
Which is crazy.
Before we hand it
Slava Ukraina!
Is that what he said?
Yes, which you can't do.
You can't do that!
You even have the authority
You cannot do that!
Which is even funnier because they were propping up that woman as the opposition, and then Trump said, "Oh, actually, she's not very popular. She's not going to use her at all."
Yes.
Like, what the fuck are we doing? That doesn't even make any sense.
After he helped her get the Nobel Peace Prize.
She said that deep in the abyss. I don't know where she at.
All I can say is all the things that are being said by the international community about why this is illegal are the exact same things we'd be saying if China invaded Taiwan.
Correct.
Go. One. 0.
So, Steve, what is your thoughts about seeing the people in Caracas celebrating?
We did it, boys! Operation Maduro was a huge success. As a future congressman, I pledge to defund the Navy by $200 billion a year. We are listening to Politically Correct with Steve and Omari and Gemini, First Lady and Patty the cunt-faced bitch.
And so now they're trying to say, the Trump administration, that you guys stole our stuff when this all went through the courts. Can you educate the people because a lot of this of what's happening now, in my opinion, is stemming from a fucking lie.
I can start. Neoliberal. I think there's a question for you in the chat. I don't know. I don't know who Goat is and Philip, but they both died. Send flowers to the family and cash apps to your local women's shelter. Sure. I guess Venezuela sometime in the mid-70s nationalized its oil industry. There was a series of someone, please, I'm asking you to jump in if I miss details. There was a series of negotiations with companies that were there. It was sort of a long process of pulling out for those companies. Many were compensated.
Victory!
You in my room. Cause why you eating my shit up? Get out. Come on. Oh, Lord. Out.
Oh boy, Dub Nunsky.
Dead ass dog. What kind of dog you got? Companies, and when nationalization happens, the government takes over control and has the companies sell the shares, or have the companies become part of a conglomerate with the country as a shareholder within it. Steve is here.
Hey, Steve. Divine, was that your question? Sorry, I heard the question.
That was my question. Just how? Yeah, it's basically a lie.
Yeah, so it's not fully a lie, right? There are still active court cases, and those things are not settled. And there are many complaints on the American company side, which, to a certain extent, however much you want to grant them, not grant them, they are legitimate, right? Or somebody has to be like a lawyer to evaluate them and their standing and non-standing, right? But the court cases are not settled, the complaints are not settled. Venezuela has refused to honor some of the judgments, from what I remember. But the point is that none of this matters in context of use of force, right? Use of force is prohibited. Dispute resolution cannot happen through use of force. So for purposes of this conversation, even if it is true, it doesn't matter, right? Even if United States companies have just reasons to be angry with Venezuela, that doesn't give United States government a justification for use of force. Welcome, Steve. Thank you for coming in the room. We'll circle back to the legal part of the. I don't know if you've seen the Bill Barr memo that has been cited by CNN reporter with attribution to 3 sources. That's what they are using for legal justification. If not, I'll catch you up.
Yeah, please. The Bill Barr memo. Sorry, the legal justification has to do with the oil assets and not Maduro's criminal activity? No.
Oil was something else. So let me read it again. I read it. So this is from Natasha Bertrand, who's a CNN reporter. A scoop from her. Trump administration officials are internally pointing to 1989 legal opinion in the subsequent U.S. invasion of Panama as precedent to justify the operation that was carried out in Venezuela on Friday night without U.S. congressional authorization per 3 sources. The 89 legal opinion was authorized by Bill Barr, who at the time was serving as head of Justice Department powerful office of legal counsel, and later served as Attorney General in the President Trump's first term. The opinion concluded, this is Bill Barr's opinion, concluded that the president has the inherent constitutional authority to deploy the FBI to investigate and arrest individuals for violating U.S. law, even if those actions contravene international law. The FBI on the ground with U.S. Delta Force soldiers during Friday night's operation to arrest Maduro and his wife. I also shared Just Security did an opinion, or rather an assessment of the 89 OLC opinion in question, like exploring, criticizing it heavily, right, for suggesting that the memo conceptually extends the language in the Constitution on non-self-executing in a way to imply that non-self-executing law is not applicable to the president.
Got it. Yeah, I mean,
What was it that you were just saying? I can't remember anything you said because it was boring.
So 3 levels. First, does the argument make sense as a matter of U.S. constitutional law without regard to international law? Second, does it make sense? Is it inconsistent with international law? Much easier question to answer. And then third, even if you accept that the argument has some validity to it, is it at its strong or weakest when it's being used against a head of state as opposed to just some, let's say it was the same situation, but they were just going after some private Venezuelan citizen that they claimed they had this right. So the first question is the hardest one, because there's just not a lot of law on this. Like, if you're really just going to ignore international law and you're just going to say, as a matter of U.S. law, like, what is the extent of, quote, the president's inherent Article 2 powers to, use military force? Nobody knows the answer to that question. And I think spending a lot of time trying to parse U.S. law on that isn't worth a whole lot. And the main reason is because obviously international law is relevant here. I mean, it's all well and good for the U.S. to say, oh, under the Constitution, the president can just send the FBI and U.S. armed forces into another country because we say it's okay under the Constitution. Let's just assume that has some validity. Under international law, it's obviously not allowed, right? If there's a criminal in another country, there are well-established extradition treaties and other sorts of law enforcement cooperative procedures that are used to bring those criminals back into U.S. jurisdiction so that they can be prosecuted. So, under international law, the idea that the U.S. or any other country can just extraterritorially go after criminals or alleged criminals using not only U.S. law enforcement, but U.S. military. I mean, there's just no support for that in international law. And that's why you've seen statements already from the UN, from all sorts of organizations saying this is illegal. One of my favorite was actually from Marine Le Pen, a friend of mine, forwarded me her post. Not that we normally rely on her as an authority for much, but I mean, she even came out and said, we may be happy that Maduro is not there anymore, but that doesn't mean what the U.S. did is allowed under international law. And to the third question, which is obviously the narrowest question, even if you assume we have the right to do this, it's one thing, again, to say that, and again, we don't, but even if you assume the U.S. has the right to, go after some drug kingpin in another country with its own military and its own FBI, that's different than the head of a country. However illegitimate he is, however he wasn't elected, however much of an authoritarian he was, we're not just extracting some private criminal. We're extracting the head, at least nominally, the head of the government. And so whatever force this opinion has, the idea that that can just be a reason not only to extract an alleged criminal, but to overthrow the government of a country. I mean that's pretty absurd.
On that point, my understanding is that of U.S. practice is that of sovereign immunity, right? Sovereign immunity is not even like goes to customary international law, right? And then according to customary international law, de facto, a leader of a country, for the purposes of having functional relationship with other states, according to customary international law, sovereign, and this is, I guess, what's going to happen in the courts, right? So, of course, we don't know. But if you can kind of expand on how sovereign immunity is applied, is it at discretion of the president? Is it enough for president to say that Maduro is not recognized president of Venezuela by United States, and that's it? His sovereign immunity is void, or is it closer to customary international law that treats it as de facto leader of the country rather than relying on presidential foreign policy designation and recognition or non-recognition?
Well, I'm not, just to be clear before I answer, and I'll take my best crack, I'm way over my skis. Like, I'm no expert on international law, yet alone international sovereign immunity. But I will say, my first observation about it is how rich the irony is. We've recently had a U.S. Supreme Court decision basically saying that anything Trump does that, involves the organs of government can't possibly lead to criminal liability, and in the oral argument for that case, I will get around to the direct answer to your question. In the oral argument for that case, the Supreme Court justices literally put it to the lawyers arguing for Trump's position. So what you're saying is if Trump orders the military to murder someone, and it can be proven that the only motive is that they were a political rival, there's no national security issue, it's not a legitimate military mission, it's just an assassination, that he couldn't be criminally liable for that. And the answer from the lawyer was, yeah, that's right, he could be impeached. But de facto, if the president is ordering the military to do things, right, that's de facto within the sort of core of his, constitutional powers, and therefore he's immune. He can't be criminally liable. So it's going to be very rich when the U.S. government is arguing that this, whatever immunity this guy might have by virtue of the fact that he, was the leader of the country, doesn't apply because he was involved in a, narco-terrorist criminal conspiracy, and this has nothing to do with being the president of a country. The irony is going to be very rich. In direct answer to your question, I mean, again, I'm not an expert on international sovereign immunity, but I assume that will be the argument. The argument will be he's immune with respect to actions he takes that are within the scope, even broadly defined, of being the president of Venezuela. But they don't include, criminal conspiracies that fall outside of any reasonable construction of his official duties. But that is a swipe at the question just based on the fact that, I went to law school, not that I have any knowledge of the specific area of law, which I do not.
That is much better than anyone else has in the room, I think, unless we have other lawyers.
Can I jump in?
Go ahead.
Can I take it over? Are we talking in order or in a row or in order?
Let's go to Igor and then
here we go.
I will be very quickly. So basically, what you said, you are Neil, that basically there is on the international law and sovereignty, the ICJ ruling head of state immunity, they ruled that in 2002. So you have like customary international law and actually approved by the ICJ decision, and it was like in case against the Republic of Congo and Belgium. So what they kind of ruled is that sitting head of state, head of government, foreign minister, and all those have complete personal immunity from criminal jurisdiction and arrest from the foreign states. So it doesn't matter what kind of accusation is it serious international crime, or it's like what, regardless of the gravity of allegation and so on. So from the international point stand, we actually have the ruling from ICJ that confirmed that. So it's not only customary law that you were mentioning, so it's affirmed in the ICJ. Okay,
Igor, just to be clear, obviously, thanks for that, but just to be clear, I'm answering from the perspective of when he's dragged in front of a U.S. court, right? They're not going to be bound to follow anything that Igor just described. So to the extent that they're looking at any concept of sovereign immunity, it would be whatever concept of international sovereign immunity exists under U.S. law, not under international law, regrettably.
No, I understand your point.
Absolutely. No, you and I aren't arguing with each other. I was just trying to clarify how they fit together.
Yeah, I'm just to build up on the Okay, go.
All right, can we talk now?
May I
sorry,
have a word? Sorry, may I have a word?
All right.
What is going on?
We are waiting for you to give us a word.
Mada, go ahead.
Actually, I'm the first one.
On Mada, one Michael Mada.
Actually, I came here before Mother, sir.
Federer, can you mute Ambassador Low?
Not a coincidence. I'm not coincidentally speaking. I'm actually speaking, sir. I don't think we have the right to cut off a speaker in this room if they have something valid to say, especially myself. But I would like to say to you that international law, when it comes to Saddam Hussein, when it comes to Manuel Noriega, these were all illegal proceedings and violations of international law.
Matt, are you there? Yeah, we lost Ambassador. Go ahead, Matt.
Mada, going one.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much. First of all, thank you for the word. First of all, I want to mention some thoughts about the American president. I think they think about their message is clear. I'm not American. I'm entering this room from Turkey, Istanbul. They think that they do the future of Venezuela must be. They think that the future of the Venezuela must be dedicated to Venezuelans. Okay, they think like this, but not Venezuelans or the other world. Peacefully, democratically, or without fear or something. Anyway, sorry for my English. I'm not an English speaker. And they think that they will continue to support humanitarian relief in Venezuela, democratic institutions and international corporations, things like this. But when I look to Venezuela, we are witnessing history unfold in Venezuela. And this is not about only politics. It is about people, families, children, or a nation searching for dignity, stability, or hope. So, conversations about President Maduro and United States, what can I say, involvement are everywhere. But beyond headlines, there are real human stories in Venezuela. So we must think about this. Thank you very much.
Brent, have you changed your opinion?
I mean, I think the speech we saw from the president is
fucking horrific. You've essentially signed up to run a country of 20 million starving people, and still the oil problem is going to be a disaster. I still think the taking of Maduro as a law enforcement action, I think that's fine. I would have had no problem if they got on and said, he's gone. We expect the Venezuelan people to follow the Venezuelan constitution, have free elections in 30 days, and you provided support for the opposition. But that's not what we saw.
Okay. So if he does the same thing with Greenland on normative level, will you have that problem?
Who are we? Who's a criminal in Greenland we're going after?
Well, they can designate anybody a criminal and issue some type of an indictment.
Yeah, I mean, you got to get the indictment first. So I'd have to kind of look at the indictment and make a contextual judgment.
Yes, but normative. Again, key operating word, normative.
Again, I mean, it's a subjective judgment about whether I see an indictment as justified. Certainly the Comey indictment was weak.
Brent,
if they do an indictment of somebody in Greenland and the Danish government doesn't try, it doesn't follow the extradition treaties that we have. I will wait for those facts to unveil before I pass judgment.
So, in your opinion, the United States, or if we extend it to other countries, should have the right to designate and indict somebody, right? Think for a second about the quality of the courts in other countries, or for that matter, increasingly in the United States. And based on that, launch a military operation to capture that person. You're normally fine with that.
I think if the United States has somebody that it has a legal indictment on, whether that person is in Russia, whether that person is wherever, it is up to the vested powers of the president acting through the attorney general to decide whether to capture that person in a hostile country.
Okay. Just for context, do you realize that you're relying on not very well reasoned, contradictory legal opinion by Bill Barr? And this is not the understanding of the majority of the jurisprudence in the United States. I can give you many quotes.
Happy to hear the quotes, but my basic view of the Constitution is that the president is the chief law enforcement officer. If he has a legal indictment, he can pursue that legal indictment.
Yeah, Bill Barr agrees with you, and nobody else.
He can legal. So you're saying, as chief law enforcement officer, he can pursue the indictment without regard to the Constitution and other laws?
How is it without regard to the Constitution and other laws?
That was.
Have you read?
You just said that your view of the. You just said your view of the Constitution is that as chief law enforcement, he can pursue. And so I'm asking you: are there limitations, legal ones, on that is pursuing the indictment?
My view is that he can execute an indictment in a hostile country, and he can protect by his powers as chief or commander in chief. He can protect those forces that are going to achieve the indictment. I would note I was told last time I was on this stage that this is my thoughts only, and that the
administration... No, you weren't. I said you got it from... Hold on, bro. This is a different room.
Why don't we just...
Actually, I said you got it from Senator Lee, and I read his quote. I said you rolled up on Twitter.
I should have been more precise. I should be more precise. Neoliberals said that.
Do that.
Okay.
So let's go back and forth.
My deepest,
Come on, bro,
my
let's not
deepest
do a
apologies.
beef.
My
Let's
deepest
not do a
apologies.
beef. Let's just stay on the substance.
Just let me finish my point.
No.
And we're not trying. Why?
Because it doesn't matter what they told you. Let's stay on the substance for now.
I'm trying to stay on the substance.
No, you didn't. You just said you were told.
El Normo, they're already blaming this on another Zionist military operation from Rothschild.
We know that.
Candace Owens is claiming that this is a Jewish conspiracy.
Okay, I'll do the beef later.
So cool. Yeah, do the beef later. Gary Baumgartner will be open soon enough. So you believe, just to reiterate, that if there's an indictment on a foreign leader or a foreign entity, all you need is an indictment, and you can do whatever you want in the execution of that indictment in terms of getting the arrest.
I can say whatever. You can't just bomb a country for whatever. But if your point of use of force is to protect the people serving the indictment, which this seems to be, I think that's fine.
And what are the limits?
You can't just bomb randomly. You can just use this to strike throughout the country. You actually have to be protecting the people serving the indictment, which in this case was Delta Force.
Have you heard where the bombings were?
You know, if that wasn't the case, we'll see what the.
But you haven't read about where they bombed?
I have read. I mean, I read about where they bombed. I read about what you would do in a military operation like this, which would be to layer on air support and take down their air defense systems. So yes, to protect what's going into Caracas, you're gonna need a pretty wide layered air force or kind of air campaign plan. That's just what you're going to need to ensure that you can fly helicopters over Caracas, which is pretty wild. So yes. And if they showed that that wasn't the case, I'm happy to hear those facts, but I am going under the assumption right now that that was the case.
So by your logic, we could effectively do whatever we wanted as long as we got an indictment, and we could say that what we did was in service of protecting those who were executing the indictments. Let me give you an example. So let's say the United States wants to protect the Christians, and they indict Tinubu. Ironically, he's actually been indicted in the U.S. before. That's a different discussion. And they want to indict Tinubu on a gun charge. I don't know if you read the indictment, Brent, but Maduro and his wife and their son were indicted on gun charges from the 1930s. Just so you know, I don't know if you read the indictment. It's only 25 pages. You can read it pretty quickly. There are gun charges, and some of the statutes are from pre-World War II. So let's say that we indict Tinubu for creating machine guns or whatever it was, like in this indictment. You're telling me that if we send in special forces in the north, middle belt, and south of Nigeria because we think he could be there, we can just obliterate Nigeria in service of executing that indictment? That's what it sounds like you're saying.
I mean, you'd have to see the facts of the case, but yes, you can go after an indicted criminal in a land that's hostile and wouldn't want you to extradite him, and you can protect that force going in.
And you don't have to uphold.
You can give me another example that's kind of long-winded, and I'll give the same answer.
And you don't have to uphold any of the international law. That's what Bill Barr argued.
What international law is not protected there?
Well, any international law. Like any law. He said it didn't matter if it contravened to international law. So say they have intel that Tinubu is in 8 different places, and they're going to go into all of them. And they want to protect the area